Hey everybody, so now I'm going to show you how to uh, put the marker outlines in on the work. When we do this, we want to think about the main shapes and doing those shapes in a heavier marker, and then look for the fine detail and use the thinner marker for that. So I'm going to use a Sharpie for the heavier lines, which is for the basic outside shapes of the houses and the trees or whatever I'm doing here. And then to do the panes on the windows, some patterns on the rooftops and on the houses, and birds, I would use the thinner marker and the clothesline. So I'm going to start though with the heavy one. Oh, also, when I do the snow at the top, I would also be using the thinner marker. Okay, so I'm going to just start right now. Actually, I think I will start with the snow. I think that's a good place to start. So I'm going to put a little snow on top of the chimneys. And keep in mind that when you add snow, you should round the edges out and always have it leaning off to the same side. Let me see if I bring this down, if that will help. You can see it better. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so I'm going to bring this like this so you can see it well. So if you imagine that the snow sort of drifted off to one side because of the wind and the way it melts, etc., that would be the same on all the houses. Notice that as I'm doing this, it's a little bit higher than the house itself, and I always curve it around so it's sitting up on there. Just like so. So I'm making sure every house has a similar amount, so it makes sense. Okay, once that's done, the next step, I would do this clothesline. And I probably would do one side of those chimneys at the top. And going to begin by also putting in the shapes of the windows and the doors. If you want to put in some curtains, you can. And some window panes. Keep in mind also, which I hadn't mentioned to you, she liked to hide animals in windows and things like that. So if you want to put a little cat or some kind of animal in your window, you can. You might not want to outline everything with the black though, because some of them you might decide that you want to do white. So don't limit yourself that everything has to be black. Or maybe you want to do another color. Now I'm just laying in a pattern on the roof. Okay, I'm going to switch to the thicker marker. I realized I skipped the birds. I'll have to go back to them. I'm going to go underneath on the snow. It almost looks like a shadow. That looks good. So now I just switched back. And as you go along, you're going to know which you want to use, what you feel comfortable using. It'll just come to you as you do it. Right now I'm just outlining my tree. That one's kind of nice. And then this other tree. Don't forget to do your birds. Okay. All right. I'm really happy with that. I think that looks really nice. Now, once you've got everything in there the way you want it with your marker, then you're going to be ready to do the coloring. Okay, so I'm going to stop at that point and show you how the coloring goes.